Trevs Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. Sweet. Anyway, you remember at the beginning of the season when I did one of these? That one right there, the bold predictions one. Well, now the last piece that I was waiting for has happened. I'm going to react to my own bold predictions video and see A, how close I was on some, and B, how far out in left field I was for the other ones. It's more just a like, hey, poke fun at myself if I can. So, let's react to my own video. So, number 10, I put tanking in full effect. And what I meant by that being, Connor Bedard has been projected to go number one for at least the last 2 years. Do you see a lot of teams really flopping to get their way to the bottom? And, well, when you look at the East, only Columbus finished below 60 points, and that was by a point. Whereas Montreal, Philadelphia, yeah, you kind of expected them to be there. I mean, Philadelphia did finish with 75 points to Montreal's 68, but, there's that. But in the West, there was your three in the West, and they both finished under 70 points. As a matter of fact, Arizona did better than San Jose by 10 points. And if 70 is the new tank logic, then Arizona might have tanked as well. So if you count 7 teams as tank, I don't know. I mean, your usual suspects, yes, but I don't know if I'd call it a full-out tank by a lot of teams. And then a part of me, just for whatever reason, thought Arizona's future will be determined by the end of this year. Well, last I heard, there's a lawsuit between Tempe and the city of Phoenix. So I'm not going to get into the whole logistics of everything, but it's going to get messy before it gets any better. So hold on to your hats, right? Uh, it just wouldn't be a year without some new Coyotes news, right? So keep yours open. This is far from done. So let's call this one breaking even, as far as right, wrong, I told you so, whatever. We'll call it breaking even because it's not done. And then we thought up that maybe one or both of the Kraken rookies would be on the Calder ballot. Well, one of them got sent down back to junior, and then now I heard last he's playing in Coachella, so he'll probably be up next year, whereas Matty Beniers is definitely on the Calder ballot, and he's probably taking it home. So there's always next year for Shane Wright, right? Right. Glad we had this talk. I hope that year back in junior and playing the remainder of the season in Coachella definitely helped him out, because if he's as good as he was projected to be, being the generational talent that he was hyped up to be, or exceptional status that he got drafted from, this should be really good. And this is what we were waiting for, and we just did a video on it. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. The draft lottery odds. And basically I said that the number one choice for the draft lottery, at least the team that had the best mathematical option, was not going to win the draft lottery. And I hate to say I told you so. But yeah, I told you so. It just works Chicago's way when they have a big name in there. I mean, look at Kane. Philadelphia was supposed to get number one. They got number two. Anaheim was supposed to get number one. They got number two. Granted, Chicago only moved up 2 spots this time round, but it's almost too fishy. But as I said in the draft lottery odds video, bit rigged. And then I made a mention that there'd be no coaching changes during the regular season. And then I forgot. We started off the season with a coaching change. But the only coaching change during the regular season was in January, and that was when Boudreau was basically pushed out the door. There's no gentle way of putting it. He was, oh, it was ugly. It was ugly. And then we've had a couple at the end of the regular season. But to answer the question, only one during the regular season. For whatever reason, I thought there would be less 50 goal scores and less 100-point scores this season than there was last season. If you remember last season, there was 4 50-goal scores and 8 100-point scores. This season, there were 5 50-goal scores and 11 100-point scores. So I don't know what I was thinking that day. I don't even know if I was thinking. Maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. But yeah, to think there was less this year. Oh, wow. Which brings me to my next one. I was hopeful that there would be a 70-goal score because we've just had a 60-goal scorer last season. Maybe they went up the ante. We were close. Connor got 64. I put down that maybe it would take over 30 games or less to break 802. Close. It took 36. So we were 6 over. We weren't far off. But, we're in for a long ride to 895. I thought there would be more Michigans. At least more than Kent Johnson's Michigan, which was a pretty sweet Michigan, I'm not going to lie. Is it ironic? He pulled off of Michigan and he was from the University of Michigan. Does that mean we should expect a Beniers Michigan here pretty soon? But we did get a goalie goal this season, which I didn't predict, but, I love when a goalie scores. So, for what we lacked in Michigans, we got in a goalie goal, right? Right. And then we rounded the whole thing off by saying there'd be no interruptions to the regular season schedule. Given the last 3 years we've had, we haven't had a fully played out schedule. We've had cancellations, postponements, we've had reschedulings. Thankfully, this season, only 2 games got rescheduled. And that was for the sake of weather. It wasn't for the sake of illness or viral infection or anything like that. It was just because of the weather. So, return to normal in the NHL, right? Right. Everything's great now. But anyway, that's how that went. Let me know what you thought of my bold predictions video, or at least the reaction to it. Another one of Chisaki shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it to this point. And if you have, hey, that's awesome. My algorithm and myself, we both thank you. So it's a great thing. But since you're here, feel free to say hi. If you've made it this far, if you dig what I'm doing, hit that like. I've earned it. That red button on the side that says subscribe all over it, come on, you know you want to. It'll make you feel good. We're pushing 250, so let's make that happen. That social that I never use, it's in the description down below. So moving forward, well, tomorrow we're back to the regular season award finalists. So we'll get back on that. They'll have 4 more this week before having more randomly throughout the month. But either way, those are all coming. So in the meantime, in between time, look for more videos from Trev. Later.